You're having those racing thoughts, aren't you? You know what I'm talking about. Your mind won't shut up and you're driving yourself crazy. If that's you, let's talk about it. I'm Michele Thill with Newland Wellness, and let's discuss how to start calming the mind and stop those racing thoughts. I have been, confession time, I have been having the funkiest time the last, I'd say, week and a half. My mind is driving me crazy. Can you relate? Couple of things I feel that are contributing to that is paying attention to what's happening to others. So I'm getting caught up in the worry, not only about them, but then all of a sudden I'm making it about me. Ladies, does that resonate with you? All of a sudden I'm playing the comparison game, but not in a positive, I'm jealous of you way, but instead of a, oh my gosh, if this is happening to you, what are my chances? How am I going to be able to do A, B, C, D, right? And we also just went through a full moon and Mercury is in retrograde. Now, I'm not someone that is educated on that energy that's going on out there. But what I can tell you is that energy is going on out there. And this can be a time where you might feel more funky, more negative, more unclear and uncertain. And let's face it, you're already in a time in your life. If you're listening to me, no doubt you're a woman who's in her 50s who is gone through or going through a major life transition, be it divorce like myself, or empty nesting, or and this is empty nesting season, right? Maybe you've lost a partner or a career or a long-held job, and all of a sudden you're facing the unknown, and now the energy that's out there is not helping. Or is it? Now, Mercury won't go back direct until November 10th is what I've heard. So we still have a ways to go with this. We could spend this time spiraling out, not only with what's happening in our lives, but just the collective energy. And the reason I bring this up is because in my day job, I work with the public, and I can feel the wackiness of the energy out there. By the way, people are coming in or calling into the office. It's like you can just feel things are off out there. And when you look at what's happening in the world as well, things are happening out in the world. They may not affect us, but we're affected by just, there's more to get ramped up about, right? To feel on edge. I feel like more people are on edge, including me. Now, we can just say, well, that's just how it's going to be now, especially until Mercury goes direct in November. Oh, well. Or we can do something about it. And that's what I want to talk to you about, is doing something about it. Not just caving in and giving up, but being conscious enough, being self-aware enough to notice, boy, my mind is driving me crazy. Or, wow, I notice that doesn't it seem like people are more agitated, more maybe angry, more depressed, weepy, whatever? They're more on edge. And this could be an opportunity, if you choose, to learn to center and ground yourself. What a fabulous time we're in if we choose to see things differently, to now look at this in a new, different view and say, this is a great time for me to take control, because I feel out of control. I feel the world is out of control. I feel things that are happening in my loved ones' lives are out of control. Some things don't make sense. Some things are just crazy. And we can't control any of it. All we can control is ourselves and how we respond to it, how we handle it. Are we going to react, take that triggering and add to the crazy, if you will, out there, the angst out there? Or are we going to start preparing ourselves and ground and center ourselves so that we now act in a new way, in a way maybe that we've never acted before? And why not? Because you may be living in a time in your life, as well as a time in the world that we've never lived through before. Yet we think we've got it all figured out on how things are going to go wrong, how things are just going to get worse, right? All the what ifs. We're like preparing ourselves for things to be worse, when we really don't know, because we've never lived in the times we're living in this world right now. And you, experiencing a major life transition, have never lived through what you're going through now. So how do we know it's gonna go wrong or not work out? We don't. But our first thought is that, because we live in a culture, in a society, in a world that is more of a negativity bias, we're looking for what's going wrong. We're looking for that evidence. And when you look for it, you're going to find what's going to go wrong. Or you can start what if upping and finding, well, I wonder what's gonna go right. I wonder how this is gonna work out. I wonder who I could turn to, who may come into my life, what I could do, on and on. We could talk ourselves continuing in the spiral downwards and help ourselves get there. Or we can kind of grab the railing, if you want, as a visual. You're starting to fall down the stairs. You can either go all the way down, or you grab the railing and stop and say, okay, thank you. Thank you for looking to protect me. Now, let's choose to see things differently, to make a new decision, to do the opposite. First off, I want to congratulate you. If you're listening to me and what I'm saying resonates with you, if you're catching that your thoughts, your energy, your alignment is more of a lower frequency, how awesome is that you're noticing what you're noticing? There was a time in my life I would have been living through all of this, not realizing I could take control over it, take control over myself, do anything to spiral up. I would have just kept spiraling down. I would have been unconscious of what's going on up here. And just thinking that's just the way it is. There was a time when I felt my thoughts were actually guiding me. Not my heart, not my gut, but my mind guiding me. Yes, it was guiding me to go down. And it's when I started to quiet and calm this that I started to then hear in my heart or feel in my gut, where we really get the intuition and the inspiration. And now that we are in what they call the age of Aquarius. Oh boy, aren't I sounding hippy dippy today? Don't you love it? Let's just go down that path, right? Now that we're in this, have you noticed that there is more attention and focus on that intuition, that how you feel instead of just what you think, that aligning more with hearing from within, tapping into our inner power, as I like to call it, or as Gabby Bernstein would say, tapping into self, which she gets from IFS, the internal family system, the self with a capital S. However you want to look at it, it's that version of ourselves that knows better and is looking to help us do better if we choose to hear it, if we choose to follow it. So what are some ways that we can start quieting our mind when those thoughts are racing? Because let's face it, the thoughts are not going to stop on their own unless we do something about it. So one way, I'm going to give you 3 practical ways that you can take with you and apply anytime, anywhere. They're all free and they're with you to help you at any moment. And you could maybe do all 3, or maybe you pick and choose one and that's just enough for that time. But this is something you're going to find throughout the day help. Because it would be awesome to say, you're going to do these and then you're done. And then your mind just turns off and everything else is firing on all cylinders. But it doesn't work that way. And I'll tell you, lately, since 2020, I've been hearing more of my mentors talk about what they do to help themselves when they're spiraling down. You know, I feel like before that, they were just talking words of encouragement. And I thought to myself, well, one day if I were enlightened like them, then I too would be peaceful and calm and not have any of the issues that the old me had, because I've arrived now, right? And now I find, no, they too have their struggles and challenges. The difference is they see them as opportunities to grow and evolve. And that's what I'm encouraging you to see what you're going through as. In this world and in your life is a catalyst, an opportunity for you to do things differently, to choose again, to look at things in a new way. The first tip is deep breathing. And I have talked about this before, and I will continue to talk about it because this is something so simple, yet so effective and powerful. When we're in a feeling of fear, anger, if you ever pay attention and notice, you'll start seeing your maybe even holding your breath. Most of us are shallow breathing to begin with, and even more so, you will shallow breathe. You're breathing just from up here instead of from your belly, from your diaphragm. And when you deep breathe from your belly, what you do is you relax the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is the longest nerve that runs through our body and connects to everything. It's the fight or flight nerve. And that's what you're like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And when you start deep breathing, you start relaxing the vagus nerve. Now, I have a couple of ways. One way is for you, and you could put your hand up here and your hand on your belly. This way, when you breathe, notice which hand is moving. Do you notice? See how you can see I'm breathing from up here. Now, if I breathe from my belly, do you see I'm not moving? But I'm breathing. And that's what you want to connect with. Breathing from the belly. And you can breathe in 4, hold 4, breathe out 4. And doing that for a couple of rounds, a couple of minutes. It's not going to be just, okay, I did it and it doesn't work. You have to keep doing it and center and relax yourself. Very powerful. Another new powerful way I've discovered is to take in 2 quick breaths through your nose and let out through your mouth. So I find this one is working even faster for me. And I actually will give credit. I heard this from Gabby Bernstein, who credited someone else that I apologize, I can't remember who that was. But just if you're trying this while I'm speaking, do you notice a difference? It's like it shoots up air right away into the brain area, and I feel more of a calm. So either way, whatever works for you, and you could do both. You could start with and then move into the belly breathing, and the breathing in, holding, breathing out, or just breathing in and out. You can breathe in through your nose, breathe out your nose, breathe in through your nose, breathe out your mouth. Whatever you find works best for you. But that breathing really will start centering you, because it starts relaxing the vagus nerve. So it's not only like woo-woo, there's science behind it. Another way is a pattern interrupt. When you start, it's like you start paying attention. You know, you might want to just spend a day noticing the thoughts that are coming in and paying attention to what you're actually thinking. How negative are they? Are there any positives? Are you bashing yourself? Are you bashing others? What thoughts are you having? You could spend a day actually focusing just on that, so you have an idea of what those thoughts are. And then you can start pattern interrupting it. When you start noticing, oh my gosh, my mind is racing. Because, you know, sometimes we're not even conscious and realize it. But when you notice it, then you could just say, stop. And all of a sudden, you're going to notice quiet. Enough. You're pattern interrupting. You're bringing a conscious awareness to the unconscious, to the subconscious. And it's very powerful to just stop that and then do something else. Say, I'm going to get up and go for a walk, even if it's around the room. Then do an activity to bring a physical in, or take a walk outside. Or maybe you decide to call a friend and see if you can be in service of some way. But it's getting out of our head and more into our heart. And it's as easy as doing that pattern interrupt. Another way that some find very effective is because when those thoughts are racing, we're either in the past or in the future. We're not in that present moment. We might be thinking we are, because you might have a present situation, but what you're doing is you're worrying about the outcome, you're worrying about the future, or you're regretting what maybe happened in the past that's now led you to this moment, right? So in the moment, it's realizing you're safe. And it could be as simple as grounding yourself, taking a look around the room and pointing out 3 things you see just to help ground you in the moment. 2 things you hear, sounds you hear, like I can hear the refrigerator running, or I could hear the lawnmower outside. And then just 1 thing you can feel. Maybe I'm feeling the countertop, or the mouse on my computer, to help ground that, okay, I'm in the present moment. Now, why do any of these? Because life is going to keep happening. Life isn't going to get easier, but it can feel easier because you're now taking steps to ground and center yourself so that you act in a new way, so that you don't just feel triggered, so that you are grounded in a way that helps you not stay stuck in a problem, but start to then align with what the solutions would be, where you can tap into that inner you, your inner power from your heart and your gut that will guide you on the next steps. Or all of a sudden somebody says something and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I overheard someone talking about that. That's just what I needed to hear. But you wouldn't have heard it because you were listening to all the chatter up here and it was blocking out something. All of a sudden, synchronicities start happening and serendipity starts getting involved, and you're feeling better. And when you're feeling better, you're raising your vibration, you're aligning, you're raising your frequency to what you do want instead of staying in what you don't want. You've been through change. You're old enough where you have been through changes before and you made it through. And you will again. And here's 3 great tools: the breath, the pattern interrupt, and the connecting with the present moment through what you see, hear, and feel, that can help you now navigate through these times of your life and through these times in this world. If I resonate with you, if you like what you're hearing, please like, follow, subscribe for more. And if there's somebody you know that may benefit from what I have to share, please share this with them. We are all in this together, and sometimes we feel like we're doing this alone, but you don't have to. I also want to share that I have a great checklist that can also be of service for someone in a life transition. It's 5 simple, practical steps to help you move forward in life, especially when you need to move forward in life and not just stay stuck or live in the past. And I will put that in the comments. Please feel free to turn to this. I am here for you, and I believe in you. Until next time, be well.